Today's EU for our Patreon community. In recent days and weeks, a number of billionaires have taken to very public whining. Here's what they're whining about, and I'm particularly focused on Leon Cooperman, a hedge fund billionaire, and Jamie Dimon, the head of the largest bank in the United States, names that I assume many of you know. Here's what they're upset about: Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, and in particular, their proposals to tax huge wealth, usually people who have tens of millions of dollars or more, at modest rates, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5%, things like that, per year, in order to fund an explosion of social programs, helping students with college loans, improving our basic education, health, and so on systems. Wonderful programs supported by a vast majority of the American people. But the rich, as they always do, don't want anyone to touch what they've got. Mr. Cooperman says, "I don't want anybody else giving away my money. I want control." And likewise, Mr. Dimon suggesting that Sanders and Warren are quote-unquote vilifying the rich and or quote punishing success. No one should be surprised that the rich, being greedy by nature or by adjustment to their situation, don't want to give up a penny. The irony, of course, is that if either Mr. Sanders or Ms. Warren's wealth taxes were imposed, these people would still be in the top 0.01% of the American people. It's just that the rest of us would have way better public services than we have now. But put all that aside, what about their claim? Well, I think it's extraordinary. It's a little bit like saying that we have the following story. There's a thief, you see, and the thief has been stealing from our wallets for quite a while and doing it quietly but efficiently. But eventually we catch on and we call the police and they come and they say to the thief, we're going to arrest you and we're going to put you in jail for a while because you've been stealing. Whereupon the thief, with great anger, says, "What are you talking about? You're depriving me of my freedom. You're going to punish me by taking away my wealth." Wait a minute here, we all say. We are not taking away your freedom and wealth. We are taking back what should never have happened to us, that which you are responsible for. And this debate is then the debate pretty quickly between people who don't listen to each other. He keeps railing about how it's his and he should be free, and the rest of us keep railing about how he's a thief and can't be allowed to continue. Whether or not that metaphor works for you, let me pick up on another theme they like to argue. And by the way, these are very old ideas. Rich people have been using these arguments for a long time to stay rich, and it's long overdue that we puncture them with the holes that those arguments deserve. Here's perhaps the most famous one. Mr. Cooperman tells us about his modest upbringings. He was the first one to go to college in his family. He worked very hard and worked his way up the system. Isn't that the American dream? Isn't it wonderful that a poor person can become a rich person? Well, frankly, folks, that's irrelevant, and let me explain why. In all systems of grotesque inequality, there are the Horatio Alger stories, the stories of the exceptional person at the bottom who, by dint of hard work, perhaps, by dint of good luck, for sure, manages to go from being in the poor end of the spectrum to being at the top. The fact that that happens doesn't make the inequality reasonable or fair or just. To drive the point home, let me give you an example. Are there cases in slavery where a particular slave is somehow able to persuade the master to give him or her freedom? Yes. Is it possible for the occasional slave to escape from his or her slavery? Yes. Did that happen? Yes. Was it possible for some of those slaves then to find a way to become rich and have slaves of their own? And the answer is an unqualified yes. Does any of that justify slavery? My hope is you would agree with me that it does not. That institution and the grotesque inequality that it represents is the problem. The fact that there are a few slaves who can move into slave ownership doesn't rescue this awful system from the criticism it deserves. The fact that there are a few poor workers, if you like, who become rich capitalists doesn't change the fundamental fact that capitalism produces horrid inequality. Mr. Cooperman likes to tell the story that he made it. He doesn't want to tell the story of all the people who worked very hard and who work very hard now and don't make it because of the 8 million obstacles put in the way of their success. Don't punish success. If you really mean it, then don't punish the success that so many people are striving for and, with a little bit of help, could realize. As Elizabeth Warren rightly said, the point is not to limit your American dream, but the point is to recognize that grotesque wealth in the hands of a few stifles the American dream opportunity for the many. Shame on you, Mr. Cooperman, and doubly so, Mr. Dimon.